10 most dangerous hikes in the United States. And it's also the most popular climb in all of Yosemite National Park. Welcome to Half Dome. This granite monolith towers more than 4,500 feet above the valley floor, and you're about to check it off your bucket list. So before you attempt to conquer the famous steel cables that lead you to the top, what's the most important thing to remember when preparing to hike this iconic granite landmark? A. Begin your hike by midday. B. Bring plenty of water. C. Be mindful of your arm strength and energy levels. The 8.5-mile trek to the top is the longest and steepest day hike in any of the U.S. national parks. Even experienced hikers have trouble, including Gina Bartiromo.
It was pretty strenuous and uphill. I remember when I got to the subdome, my legs were tired.
And when you reach the subdome, your battle is only just beginning.
I remember looking at it, feeling intimidated because it seemed so steep.
So think you have what it takes to make it to the top? First and foremost, you need to bring enough water.
The general rule for water consumption is 1 quart per hour. It only takes a few percentage points of variation in your bodily fluids to create dehydration. So you want to space it out and take small amounts of water over a long period of time.
If you said be mindful of your arm strength and energy levels, you need to take care of that long before you get to the park.
Many people, when they get there, they are too fatigued. There's no shame in saying, I'm too fatigued. Go back down, spend some time lifting weights, build your strength back up, and come back again.
If you said A, begin your hike by midday, you're starting too late. It takes most people 10 to 12 hours to complete the Half Dome hike. You want to be sure to take off at first light so you can finish by dark. This is the first mistake Gina made.
I wish that we had left earlier.
But making it even harder that day, the unexpected weather.
It was the beginning of June, so I didn't anticipate rain or snow at all.
Weather can turn pretty quickly, especially when you're up around an elevation of 8,500 feet or so, like the top of Half Dome.
And on this day, the weather proved to be detrimental. Gina and her friends arrived at the base of the cables around 3 p.m. They decided to fuel up with snacks before beginning their grueling climb.
As we started the climb up, I was so focused on my footing and where my hands were that I didn't really pay attention at all to the weather until we got to the very top.
But that's when they realized they might be in danger and quickly begin their descent.
Once it started to rain, which turned into the flurry of snow, I lost it and I started to slip.
This wasn't a little slip. Gina Bartiromo is one of the few people in the world to fall from Half Dome and survive.
Once I started to slip, I caught air and was flying and then slamming down to the rock, catching air and then slamming down, catching air and then slamming down.
Gina's body is breaking with every blow, and she is getting closer to a 1,000-foot drop.
Miraculously, somehow, at going 35, maybe even 40 miles an hour, ricocheting off the side of the rock, I was stopped by a tiny little slab of rock, which apparently was about 6 to 8 inches, stopping me just before a 1,000-foot drop.
Now imagine that you've just witnessed someone suffer this horrific fall. Would you know what to do to save their life? Would you, A, climb down and try to pull them back up? B, create a human chain to move them to a safer place? Or C, call 911 and keep them from moving? In Gina's case, 2 men stepped up to help her.
Rick and Kylie were complete strangers. I didn't know them at all before that moment. Out of the kindness of their hearts, they decided to come back up. I'm lucky to be alive because of them. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here.
While these men risk their own lives to reach her, they also do the right thing by having friends call 911 as they work to stabilize her.
While you're lying on that cold granite, the heat's flowing out of your body. The colder you get, hypothermia starts to set in.
More than 2 hours after the fall, Yosemite Search and Rescue finally reached Gina. But it takes 3 tries before they can land their helicopter because of the heavy cloud cover and falling snow.
The helicopter was fighting against really intense clouds. They couldn't see where to let down their rescue team. And They were low on fuel. It was their very last attempt. The very last attempt, the clouds cleared up and allowed them to let the rescue team down. It was far more horrendous for every other person that was involved. They had to witness what happened. They had to see their friend. They thought I was going to die.
Gina was extremely lucky in that fall because 9 times out of 10, the fall she took is not going to be survivable.
My brain was bleeding and swollen. I had a traumatic brain injury. I had a laceration at the top of my skull. I had a laceration behind my ear, 15 stitches. I had fractured my jaw and uprooted 3 of my teeth. I had broken my collar, my rib, and my spine. I had a compression, and I had broke my sacrum.
More than 20 people have lost their lives slipping from Half Dome and falling to their deaths. Luckily, that was not the fate of Gina Bartiromo.
It completely changed how I look at life. I'm filled, overwhelmed with gratitude for every single person that came into my life and played a role in me being able to sit here today.
So if you ever muster up the courage to take this 400-foot vertical climb up Half Dome, this is what you must remember. Set out first thing in the morning. Bring plenty of fluids and make sure that you are physically prepared for the challenge.
My advice to anyone that wants to hike Half Dome is pay attention to the weather. If there's a cloud in the sky, it's not worth it. Don't go.